What's up guys, 6x Player here. Today I'm doing a video about Legion and what the Vanguard future looks like. Legion is a new thing they introduced in Season 4 of Vanguard. And it's just like Brick Ride, so it's a whole new thing. So what Legion is, when your opponent has a grade 3 Vanguard or greater, you may return 4 cards from your drop zone back to the deck. And you may call the grade 2 that says on the card and perform Legion with it. So you have 2 Vanguards now. And when the Vanguard attacks now, in Legion, its new attacking power is 20,000. So you can still boost with it and attack for like 27 or more. What this does, it makes the game unbalanced because you're returning any 4 cards from your drop zone. Those 4 cards can be your triggers. They go back in the deck, and then you take 1 card out, and then you attack for 20,000 plus. And this is without Limit Break 4. So this makes the game really unbalanced because now if I'm at 4 damage and my opponent's at 2 damage, there's no difference between us now. Because he can do the same effects, the broken effects, at 2 damage that I can do at 4 damage. Before there was Limit Break 4, so I could make a comeback with my Break Ride and my Limit Break 4 cards to even out the damage. But now, he can do the same thing at 2 damage that I can do at 4 damage. So, he can swing for 20,000 plus at when I have a grade 3. So this makes the game really unbalanced because you're recycling triggers and your Vanguard can attack for big numbers, and there's really like no cost. Now you can argue how you're going to get 4 cards in the drop zone so fast. Well, there's a thing called Quintet Wall. Quintet Wall says take the top 5 cards of your deck and put it in your Guardian Circle, and then they go in the drop zone. So what do? You play Quintet Wall early game, and then next turn you perform Legion. Return 4 of those 5 cards back in the deck, and then you get Legion. That's how you do Legion super fast. Now, you may argue Legion might be similar to this card, Alfred, because he can swing for big numbers also. Well, you're wrong. Alfred's effect is Limit Break 4. He needs to be at 4 damage to activate the power boost effect. And also, Alfred is weak to the field. You can lock his field, you can retire his field, and now they have to use cards from their hand or use Alfred's effect to build up their field again. With Legion, you don't need anything. You don't need your field. You don't care if your field's locked or you don't have a field. You have a Vanguard that can swing for 20,000 plus, just like that. So yeah, it's not the same thing, because you don't need Limit Break 4 now. You can just go Legion when your opponent has a grade 3. One of the other things I want to talk about is what this game is looking like in the future. This is set 16 onwards. Like, let's talk about the old cards. The old cards die out so fast in this game. Like, look at this. Blonde Azel came out Season 2. Really good card. Amazing card. Season 3. Aichi gets Alfred, a better version. 11k. Attack for big numbers consistently. Doesn't require the top deck luck skill. A better version of Azel. What else? Maelstrom Dragon. Great Season 2 boss card. His effect is now transferred to Legion now. Yes, Legion Vanguards get Maelstrom's effect. So they don't need Limit Break 5. They just need to have opponent's Vanguard at grade 3. And then they cannot guard with grade 1s or higher. The new Genesis Legion and the new Dimension Police Legion, they can do this. And the Genesis Legion gets a critical, so it's even more broken. And like one of the other, like Glory dies. This card has died in Japan because now, look at this card. This is Limit Break 5, right? This is Limit Break 4 for Dark Regulars. And you only need to have 10 soul and he will get plus 10,000 and the same effect as Glory. Glory gets only plus 5,000 and Limit Break 5. He's at Limit Break 4 and plus 10,000. And he can soul charge pretty easy. So don't argue about getting 10 soul is hard. It's not hard. Yeah, so old cards die out so fast. One more example for an old card that dies is this card, Kaiser Vermillion. A great card that came out with Limit Break 4, Combats 3, You can attack your opponent's front row. Really good. Now look at this card. The new Legion. Doesn't need limit break, anything. Counterblast 2 only. You can attack your opponent's front row. And he will get +5, and you can Soul Blast to give him +3. So he can swing for 28 without a booster. And he attacks your opponent's front row without limit break 4 for 2 counterblasts. This game just hates on those old cards. The reason is they're trying to make money off us because they're going to keep on making better cards and more broken cards and make the old cards useless. The new Blaster Blade card, it's only 1 counterblast. The old Blaster Blade cards were all counterblast too. The new one, only 1 counterblast. And they're going to keep on doing this. They're going to keep on making better cards. And it just sucks because you can't play the old cards anymore because they're not that good anymore now. What else? And there's no way to balance the game out anymore. Like, the ban list sucks. Japan's ban list, Descendant at 2. Who cares about Descendant at being at 2? Look at this card. The Grade 4 Kagero. It's not even banned. At least put it at 2. They won't even touch this card. This card is broken. Your opponent cannot guard with grade 0s. And the triggers don't work on your turn. And you can Persona Blast to kill your opponent's whole field. You retire the whole field. And this card is not even limited. At least put it at 2. But there's no ban list for Japan. And English? There's not even an English ban list. Barco's banned for some reason. I mean, bring Barco back. Why the hell? Like, the game is unbalanced. And there's no ban list to fix it. So, the future of Vanguard is really bad. Sec 16 onwards. Like, you can still, the game is still really fun to play. Because of limit break and, like, it's still fun. Like, but with Legion and Set 16 onwards, there will be no more fun. One of the other reasons Legion is not going to be fun to play with? Look at this card. This card says, Counterblast 1. When this unit drive checks a card with the same name as your Vanguard or your Legion, it gets plus 10,000, 1 critical. That means the grade 2 that's right next to him and this card, if you get drive check 1 copy of that, he will get plus 10,000 and 1 critical. So, your opponent has to guard first. So, they have to think about that plus 10,000 over breaking their shield. So, this card will be 20,000 attacking. If you boost it, let's say 27, let's say a booster. And then if you drive check that card, it will be at 37 plus critical. And your opponent has to guard for that extra plus 10,000 before the drive check. So this card is going to be a nightmare to be playing against. Like, the game won't be fun anymore. Like, I don't want to play Legion at all. The point is. And the next point I want to make is this game worth it after Set 16? Not after, like, when Set 16 comes. Is this game worth it? It's not. The price tag is not worth it. Let's say you make a big deck and you end up losing to a little kid because you got grade stuck. And that's happened to all of us. Like, I've beaten people with a 1 trial deck because they got grade stuck or a luck sack. The game is not worth it. Even if you go to regionals, the regionals are best out of 1. Yes, if you get grade stuck, that's 1 loss. The next round, if you get grade stuck again, that's 2 losses, you're out for the regionals. So this game doesn't have a future because Legion is just so broken. And the old cards just die out so fast. And there's no ban list to fix it. And honestly, the price tag for this game is not worth all the trouble. And that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.